So it is a choice to create your mass in a mass file that's separate, where you have a little bit more control over the parameters and some of the reference planes, or you can control it like this and create a model in place inside your Revit file. This looks great here. We're going to look at how to draw this transition piece between the two. You can go to Component and Model in Place and pick Mass and pick OK. And this could have been here or in an outside file, but I think because I see Mass 1, you've got the mass right in here. Mass 2, I'll call it. And now I've got this sketch view. I can now create a rectangle that's on top of this one and select that rectangle and create form. And then I'm doing it fairly quickly, but here I'll just bring it up to a point that I think will be high enough for me to click out of it and then click on these corners and use these little arrow grips to bring it back to run into here this other portion of the column. And now I can use these corner grips to bring it over in line. And then back to the corner here. Okay, so now that this is in place and you may want to make it shorter or longer, you can then finish this mass, the second one, and they are now separate pieces, so we can use the Join Geometry tool to select this mass, select the smaller mass, and the two. So before I change the material, I want to show you the difference between joining these two and not joining these two. If I go to the Modify panel and let's just say I don't join these two. If I don't join these two and I go to the Massing and Site, and I'll just use the generic wall for now, but I'll show you how to change that too. You see how this whole column is going to be selected all the way down? It's not going to matter that much for our situation because this one stops there and you'll be able to see that transition. But if you, I'll go back and do some undos here. If you join these two, join this mass with this mass, then when you go to the Massing and Site tab and you start to place these wall panels, you see how it stops? It stops short of the other extension of this column so that you get that variation of the two surfaces. They'll look like different masses because you can still see this different mass, but they're joined so that when you place material, you'll only be selecting that surface. So now when I go to the Massing and Site tab, I can pick here Wall, but I don't want to use the base generic 8-inch, so I can edit that type, duplicate it, give it a new name. You might be creating maybe a 2-inch stone panel or 4-inch, whatever works. I made it a 2-inch. I can pick here Edit and change the thickness to 2-inch. And then you can pick here the category for the structure and change the material. You can highlight this default material, right-click and duplicate it, and then type in stone panel, and then change in the graphics tab your color to something that you'd like, a shade of brown that matches that tan color. if you like, and then that's only for the shaded view. And so if you wanted to change your appearance for your realistic and your rendering view, you can go to the Appearance tab, or you can just click on here, this icon at the bottom left corner of the Asset Browser. Change your view to thumbnail if you'd like to see it this way, and then look for maybe masonry, to look for a kind of a stone panel, or down here there is an actual stone here that you can use if you'd like to find something that's that color that we're looking for. And then we'll go ahead and pick OK, and we're in this tool for applying the faces. I can then select here these different faces, and I'll have this this structure. I'm also posting several other videos that will show you how to create a background gradient color, or create a camera view, and finish your project. So take a look at least the end of some of those and how it pulls the project all together.